Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Tiffany Stratton is on the SmackDown roster, but she remains one of the many threats Liv Morgan is constantly faced with as Women's World Champion. Liv seems to be just as protective of Dominik Mysterio, for whom she previously fought Rhea Ripley. Morgan gave major praise to Stratton and issued a double warning to the rising superstar. Ms. Money in the Bank has had her eye on the Women's World Championship for some time, but Stratton also recently expressed interest in Dirty Dom while taunting Morgan in a promo. The Buff Barbie had words leading up to Morgan vs. Nia Jax for the inaugural WWE Crown Jewel Women's Championship. The Miracle Kid is now warning Tiffany to stay away from her man and her title. Speaking to Adrian Hernandez, Morgan was asked if there was any message she wanted to send to Stratton. The Judgment Day member confessed to liking and respecting the former NXT Women's Champion but did not mix words regarding the SmackDown star coming for what's hers. Tiffy time, Tiffy baby, Ms. Money in the Bank, you know what? I don't actually not like you. I actually kind of like you, and respect you in a way, and I appreciate your work ethic, but please, 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 just listen to me. If you're ever going to listen to me, if you're ever going to trust anything that I say, please let it be this: stay away from me and my Women's World Championship, and stay away from Dominik. I mean that wholeheartedly, 100%, with every fiber of my being. Thank you, Liv Morgan said. From 2:53 to 3:31. Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton are currently tied 1-1 in their series of singles matches. Tiffany defeated Liv on SmackDown back in February, while Morgan got the win back on the Blue brand in late October. Tiffany Stratton is going for new WWE Championship. Tiffany Stratton is still plotting the cash-in of her Money in the Bank briefcase. However, she's now hoping to become the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion. WWE has announced a 12-woman tournament to wrap up at Saturday night's main event on December 14th. Two wrestlers will face off in singles action that night to become the inaugural champion. Bayley is the first to advance in the tournament after winning Friday's triple threat match over Candice LeRae and B-Fab. Bayley will face the winner of this Friday's SmackDown triple threat match, featuring Blair Davenport vs. Bianca Belair vs. Chelsea Green. The remaining two triple threats from the right side of the bracket are Tiffany Stratton vs. Elektra Lopez vs. Naomi, plus Piper Niven vs. Mykan vs. Jade Cargill. The WWE Universe was abuzz with the latest drama involving Dominik Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Tiffany Stratton. While Dominik, better known as Dirty Dom, had been making waves with the Judgment Day, his personal life seemed to be drawing even more attention. And when Tiffany Stratton, the self-proclaimed Buff Barbie, started dropping hints about her interest in Dominik, Liv Morgan decided to set the record straight. It all began backstage at Raw. Dominik and Liv had a strong history, with Liv having been an ally of the Judgment Day during its early days. Though Liv had since moved on to other pursuits, her protective nature over Dominik remained. And when Tiffany Stratton appeared on Dominik's Instagram Live during a Judgment Day promo, teasing her admiration for the controversial star, Liv knew she had to intervene. That Monday night, Liv walked into the bustling WWE locker room, her leather jacket glinting under the fluorescent lights. The air was thick with anticipation for the night's matches, but Liv had only one thing on her mind. She was searching for Tiffany. She found her in the women's lounge, effortlessly applying lipstick in the mirror as if she didn't have a care in the world. Tiffany turned to see Liv leaning against the doorway, arms crossed, her intense gaze unrelenting. "Liv Morgan," Tiffany said, her voice dripping with confidence. "To what do I owe this surprise visit?" Liv stepped inside, her boots echoing on the tiled floor. "Cut the act, Tiffany. You know exactly why I'm here." Tiffany raised an eyebrow, feigning innocence. "I don't have the slightest clue what you mean." "Dominik Mysterio," Liv said bluntly. "Stay away from him." Tiffany let out a laugh, a high-pitched sound that only fueled Liv's irritation. "Oh, that's what this is about." "Relax, Liv. I'm just having a little fun." Dom and I are both stars. It's natural for me to admire someone of his caliber. Liv stepped closer, her voice low and serious. Dominik doesn't need your kind of admiration. He's part of the Judgment Day, a group that thrives on loyalty and unity. You're a drama magnet, Tiffany. All flash and no substance. Tiffany's smirk faltered for a brief second before she recovered. And you think you're his protector? Last I checked, you're not exactly part of the Judgment Day anymore. What's it to you if Dom wants to talk to me? It's not about what he wants, Liv shot back. It's about what's best for him. Dominik's already got enough on his plate without you playing games. You think the Judgment Day, or Rhea Ripley, for that matter, will sit quietly while you stir the pot. Tiffany crossed her arms, her tone turning defensive. Look, Liv, I don't need a lecture from you. If Dom wants me around, that's his decision. Maybe he's tired of the same old Judgment Day dynamic. Maybe he needs someone fresh, someone who actually appreciates him for who he is. Liv narrowed her eyes. You don't get it, do you? Dominik is more than just a rising star. He's someone who's fought tooth and nail to prove himself in this business, despite everyone doubting him. If you're just using him to boost your own image, you're going to have a serious problem, not just with me, but with the entire Judgment Day. Tiffany leaned against the counter, her voice laced with mock sympathy. Liv, are you jealous? I mean, I can't blame you. Dom is kind of irresistible, isn't he? Liv clenched her fists, taking a deep breath to maintain her composure. This isn't about jealousy, Tiffany. It's about respect. You want to flirt with Dom? Fine. But don't think for a second that you can manipulate him or turn this into some kind of power play. Because if you do, I'll make sure you regret it. Tiffany's confident facade cracked slightly as Liv's words sunk in. For the first time, she seemed to realize that Liv wasn't just blowing smoke. Later that night, Dominik Mysterio found himself caught in the middle of the brewing tension. During a backstage interview, he was approached by Byron Saxton, who couldn't resist bringing up the drama. Dom, there's been a lot of chatter about Tiffany Stratton showing interest in you. Care to comment? Byron asked, holding the microphone up. Dominik smirked, clearly enjoying the attention. What can I say, Byron? I've got fans everywhere, including the locker room. But right now, my focus is on the Judgment Day and making sure we continue dominating Raw. Before Byron could press further, Liv appeared on the scene, grabbing the mic from Byron. Dom, we need to talk. Now. Dominik's smirk disappeared as he noticed the serious expression on Liv's face. He followed her to a quieter corner of the arena, away from prying eyes. What's going on, Liv? He asked, genuinely curious. Liv didn't waste any time. It's about Tiffany. She's bad news, Dom, trust me on this. Dominik chuckled, shaking his head. Come on, Liv. She's just being friendly. What's the big deal? The big deal, Liv said, her voice firm, is that she doesn't care about you. She cares about what being around you can do for her career. You've worked too hard to let someone like her mess it all up. Dominik sighed, leaning against the wall. I appreciate you looking out for me, but I can handle myself. I'm not some kid who needs protecting anymore. I know that, Liv said, softening her tone. But sometimes, the people who seem harmless can do the most damage. Just be careful, okay? Dominik nodded, sensing the sincerity in her voice. All right, Liv. I'll keep that in mind. The tension came to a head during a mixed tag team match on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton had managed to insert herself into the match, partnering with Grayson Waller against Dominik and Rhea Ripley. The crowd was electric, sensing the animosity between Liv, Tiffany, and Rhea as the match unfolded. Midway through the match, Tiffany tried to distract Dominik by flirting with him on the apron. Rhea, not one to tolerate disrespect, stormed across the ring and delivered a brutal clothesline to Tiffany, sending her crashing to the floor. The audience erupted in cheers as Rhea shouted, "Stay away from my teammate." the chaos didn't end there. After the match, Liv confronted Tiffany backstage, reminding her once again to back off. Meanwhile, Rhea and Dominik shared a knowing glance, reaffirming their loyalty to each other and the Judgment Day. In the weeks that followed, Tiffany seemed to back off, perhaps realizing that tangling with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley wasn't worth the trouble. But the drama left its mark, serving as a reminder of the complicated dynamics in WWE. As for Liv, she continued to watch out for Dominik from afar, knowing that, despite their differences, their bond was unbreakable. Tiffany's interest may have sparked a brief fire, but in the end, it was the loyalty and trust within the Judgment Day that prevailed. Dominik, now wiser to the dangers of outside distractions, refocused his energy on becoming an even greater force in WWE. And while the drama with Tiffany was over for now, the WWE Universe knew that, in the world of professional wrestling, new challenges were always just around the corner.